So before I start this video, I just want to say that this video is fair use, so all the media used in this video is used for criticism, review, or in a transformative way. All the information I present is public information, and everything else is alleged, a joke, or just my opinion. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is pham and her fiance, who had a video made on them. It was about 2 hours long, and it was like a really weird, mysterious account. I'm pretty sure they had never uploaded before, and they just uploaded this 2-hour video about pham and Ryan. And in this video, they discussed issues that they took with Hailey's promotion of abstinence and the spread of harmful misinformation in regards to birth control and safe sex, as well as shaming people who aren't pure. They specifically referenced a video where she talked a lot about birth control and how she's not going to go to the doctor for birth control because she and her fiance are waiting until marriage. But then her friend talked to her about the patch, and so she got the patch, and then it didn't really work out for her. It made her feel really nauseous, and it just didn't work with her body. And because of this, she decided to do natural family planning. And all of that kind of just results in spreading harmful misinformation about birth control and encourages people to not go to doctors for birth control, which they obviously need to do because birth control is very different for everyone. And it apparently heavily promoted natural family planning, which obviously might not work for a lot of people. They were also talking about how they were just moving too fast and how they were doing all these things like getting a dog, getting a house, getting married, and all those things. And the uploader was challenging whether or not they were doing this because they actually wanted to do it or just to get it done, because that's the checklist of how to succeed in life, you know what I mean? Get married, get a house, get a dog maybe, and then have kids, which I'm pretty sure they are planning to do. And how they didn't necessarily seem mature enough to do, not immature enough to do these things, but just it seemed as if they were trying to appear as more mature than they really were by doing these things. And so a friend of Hailey and Ryan ended up posting a 12-minute video on their Instagram story that both Hailey and Ryan shared to their story as well, I believe. And their friend was basically just claiming that it was a ridiculous video that was trying to tear apart their marriage and stuff like that. And then quite a few fans were relatively frustrated because it seemed like they couldn't take constructive criticism, because a lot of the things that they said in the video does have some footing. So Ryan ended up talking to the uploader of the video, and he ensured that he would keep the conversation private, but then he proceeded to go on Instagram and give out private information such as the person's name, their age, and stuff like that. And a lot of their fans, or just people who originally watched their content and stuff like that, made the point that their reaction to it seemed kind of odd because they reposted the story that their friend made, and then Hailey was responding to comments under her Instagram post being yeah, they did have points, but they were speculating too much about certain aspects of our life. And they kind of seemed caught up between whether or not it was a ridiculous video that is trying to tear up their marriage versus a video that did have some points that just speculated too much and were wrong about certain things. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is Megan Thee Stallion, who's recently gotten a lot of publicity because she performed this in the middle of her song Savage. So Daniel Cameron, the person that she mentioned in this bit, is an attorney general of Kentucky who was and still is on the Breonna Taylor case. And if you've been keeping up with that case, you know that's not going very well in regards to getting her justice. So for those of you who don't know, 6 months after her death, the grand jury indicted one of the officers, and the Louisville mayor announced a curfew, and the Louisville Police Department said that the U.S. National Guard has been activated. So only one officer is criminally charged for the death of Breonna Taylor on March 13th. None of the officers will be charged for the actual death of Breonna Taylor. Again, only one officer was criminally charged. It is Brett Hankinson, who was already fired, and they weren't charged for killing Breonna Taylor, they were charged for the shots that missed. So obviously people are going to be upset that a black man isn't doing the black community justice. On Tuesday, Cameron lashed back at the performer, lambasting her for calling him out in the live performance. The fact that somebody would get on live television and make disparaging comments about me because I'm simply trying to do my job is disgusting, Cameron said on Fox and Friends, incorrectly attributing the words to the rapper herself and not Mallory. They're talking about how the audio that played wasn't Megan talking, but it was just audio that she decided to play over that performance. Megan Thee Stallion's performance came 2 weeks after a grand jury in Jefferson County decided not to indict the Louisville officers who fatally shot Taylor inside her apartment in March for her death. The grand jury instead indicted one of the 3 officers, Brett Hankinson, a former Louisville police detective who was fired in June with 3 shots of wanton endangerment for allegedly endangering the lives of Taylor's neighbors. So the next technically 3 or 4 things that I'm going to talk about all revolve around Jeffree Star, because a lot has been happening around that person, and I'm seeing a lot of comments on Twitter from a lot of his fans, and I hate them all. I hate all Jeffree Star fans, and they're all stupid, and they don't deserve rights. So firstly, I'm going to update you guys on the drama that he had with his boyfriend or ex-boyfriend or ex-person that he was hanging out with. So for a bit of context and stuff that I talked about in my previous video, Jeffree Star started hanging out with this black man, and they were posting pictures together, and there was low-key supposed to be private, but people matched up his arm to a basketball player or ex-basketball player who hasn't played in many years. And then people came out bashing both Jeffree Star and the person that he was hanging out with, saying that you stole this man from his wife and child, and like now he won't see his children, he won't see his wife, he just dipped on them. And the baby mama that like came out and said all this stuff isn't confirmed to be her. Like the account that it was tweeted off of that was claiming to be the mother of the basketball player's child might not actually be the mother of the basketball player's child. So Jeffree Star was defending him and defending himself, like we're just adults having fun. And then he commented under one of his Instagram posts being all like, give me back the stuff that you stole from my house, why don't you have time to call me back, give me back my stuff. And then the boyfriend posted a bunch of stuff on their Instagram story from their second account that might not actually be like a real account that they're in control of, but there's a lot of signs that point to that account actually being theirs. They were posting like weird things, like implying that they were gonna like cancel Jeffree Star and expose Jeffree Star, and then they posted this screenshot showing that Jeffree Star was in fact watching their stories. Keep in mind that this account is a private account, so Jeffree Star would have to be following this account to view the story, so it'd be a bit odd if this isn't the real guy. And he was saying stuff like you got an hour to delete them off Snapchat, referencing the videos where Jeffree Star went on and said that this person stole things from their house and that they were like broke and unemployed and they were just like a low life. It's crazy because I'm a real genuine person and I really didn't want it to get to this point. Let's just say this is going to ruin you. Your last guy left because you fucked his close friend, that's sad not to mention. You miss Nate but you fucked his friend, I don't understand. You didn't even tell your supporters, you hit me up offering all these expensive things for my time. I have proof of what I posted, I have your name on paperwork, your name on pill bottles, etc. We can do this all night. If you actually kept it real with your supporters, they wouldn't hate you for what they're going to find out. And apparently this was all to do with Jeffree Star having like AIDS or HIV, which he then came out to say that he doesn't have. And they posted a screenshot that they got from Jeffree Star, and it says, my lawyer screenshotted your threads and you signed a non-disclosure agreement where you cannot say my name or post any photos. I don't get why you won't just give my stuff back. You put my health at risk and all I showed you was respect. Why can't you just respond on here? It's so weird. The videos have been deleted everywhere. Are you going to send me my stuff back? And then they said, everyone thinks Jeffree Star has nothing to hide, right? They paid Shade Room. I'll post it myself. Jeffree and I have never had sex. I would never stoop that low nor have sex with another person who is racist and manipulative. I didn't steal anything from him. The only things I took was the things that he bought for me. I'm not a thief, nor am I a liar. The real tea about this whole situation is that Jeffree and I weren't really dating. We've been friends for a while now, and he told me about some scandals that he was in and how his career was slowly dying, and he offered me $70,000 to pose as his boyfriend to make it seem like he's very accepting and not racist. At first, I didn't want to accept his offer, but he added $30,000 to it. Remind you, I have a kid, and I would do anything to protect him and make sure he was good. I eventually wanted to end it with Jeffree due to how he treated me while I was staying at his house. He would cuss me out, hit me, and say racist things to me. He threatened to sue me if I spoke, etc. I took everything he bought me along with the money that he gave me and left. Not even an hour later, I see him claiming that I stole a Louis Vuitton bag from his house, which I didn't even have my own things and would never steal from anyone in my life. But it gets a lot worse with drama regarding Jeffree Star because there was an insider article that kind of blew up, and it was about how Jeffree Star had allegedly sexually assaulted people in the past, which I have talked about, but not to this extent because there's a lot of proof that goes into this. So the article reads, before building his YouTube makeup empire, Jeffree Star was a politically incorrect MySpace celebrity. In addition to his racist outbursts, several people, including some of Star's former friends, peers, and associates, told Insider that he physically and sexually abused others at the height of his MySpace fame. Several people said Star sexually preyed on men around him through non-consensual oral sex and groping at his music performances. Accusers also said Star used weapons such as a stun gun, a tasing device, on people around him for fun and for revenge after facing rejection. Star's attorney denied the allegation of physical and sexual violence in this article, claiming them as false and defamatory. Messages obtained by Insider show two of Insider's on-the-record sources discussing a $10,000 payout offer from Star to recant their allegations. Several former associates say that Star engaged in violent and abusive behavior on multiple occasions during the late 2000s, including multiple allegations of sexual assault. 4 people who spoke with Insider said Star groped men around him without consent. 5 people told Insider they personally saw Star using a close-range stun gun or other tasing device to hurt and intimidate people around him. And 5 people told Insider that in 2010, Star used a taser on a homeless teen who had rejected his affections in a movie theater. That teen later stayed the night in Star's apartment and told Insider that Star gave him Ambien until he was intoxicated and forcibly performed oral sex on him without his consent. Several people and publicly available internet posts corroborate key components of the former homeless teen's account. In several letters to Insider, Star's attorney denied allegations of physical and sexual assault and questioned the reliability of Insider's sources. After Insider detailed the allegations to Star and his attorney, several people who had made on-the-record claims about Star's conduct misconduct contacted Insider to change their stories. Text messages were obtained showing two of the on-the-record sources for this article discussing what they said was a $10,000 offer from Star to recount their allegations. One accuser and two claimed witnesses, all of whom had provided on-the-record accounts to Insider in which they said they saw or experienced Star engaging in violence. Ultimately, they did change their stories. There's a widely circulated clip where he appears to be groping a man's penis, and Star's attorney said that the video was of Star and a friend jokingly touching one another, which was then uploaded to Star's YouTube channel purely for entertainment. In the clip, the man pushes Star's hand away when he reaches down to grope him, and Star walks away saying, "I knew it was big." I've seen him grope both guys and girls, Zach Neal, a long-time former Warped Tour stage manager, told Insider. I think anybody that has seen him in concert has seen that. It's just a part of his thing, feeling people up and groping people and ass slapping and dick grabbing. People told Insider that Star was violent when his sexual and romantic advances weren't reciprocated. In 2008, Gage Arthur was a 17-year-old with dreams of becoming famous on the internet. He had began building a fan base on MySpace and Stick'em. That year, Arthur's roommate, also a Stick'em entertainer, invited a friend from LA to visit their apartment in Austin, Jeffree Star. Arthur said that he sexually pursued him soon after meeting him, starting at their Austin apartment. Even though Arthur identifies as straight, in 2009, Arthur moved to LA to join his more internet famous peers. Once again, he struggled with homelessness. A little over a year after their first meeting, Arthur says Star invited him to stay at his apartment and the two shared Star's bed. According to public social media posts, Arthur and Star went to see a movie with two friends. During the film, Star tried to hold his hand, but Arthur resisted. Star then attacked him with a taser in the theater parking lot after the movie in retaliation. That night, Star gave him Ambien pills until he was intoxicated and then performed non-consensual oral sex on him. Jeffree sucked Gage's dick under the threats of force and actual use of force, i.e. the taser, as well as Gage's incapacity from drugs, Stone wrote. Star's attorneys described the sticky drama post to Insider as false and defamatory, although Stone told Insider that neither Star nor his attorney responded to his own request for comment. More than a month after the post went up, and after Insider asked Star for his comment on it, his attorney sent Stone a cease and desist letter asking him to take the post down, according to a copy of the letter reviewed by Insider. Star's attorney likewise denied Arthur's claims to Insider, saying Star has never tasered or drugged anyone for sex. 3 weeks later, Arthur sent a message to Insider saying, "Hey, his lawyers called me," and then followed up with an email saying, "I'm not sure I'm remembering stuff correctly and I may have misinterpreted things," adding, "I'm retracting our communications." The next day, Star's attorney sent a letter to Insider making clear that he was aware of Arthur's efforts to retract his statements. Since then, Insider has obtained text messages written by Arthur in which he told another person contacted by Insider for this story that he had changed his account, and Jeffree Star has agreed to pay you $10,000 if you choose to do the same. So all that is obviously very sketchy, and then he tried to essentially combat all this by going on Twitter and tweeting out, "Serious question, who needs their bills paid tonight? Drop me your Cash App username and use Jeffree Star buy bills. Time to help as many as I can tonight. Thank you for all the support. I just checked this guy's account who asked for help and he's said some mean things about me in the past. I still send him money and pray he has a better week." So I don't know about you, but I officially think that Jeffree Star is off the hook. He is a brilliant person. He has never done anything wrong that hasn't been excused because he sent a few strangers some money, especially considering that one had said some mean things about him in the past. That is so commendable, and I think we just should forgive him. So there has been another Insider article posted about Jeffree Star, and it says, leaked Jeffree Star messages show he deleted more than 400 crude tweets as he accused rival YouTuber James Charles of sexual misconduct. Does anyone else find it funny how he accused James Charles of sexual assault, or at the very least implied that he had by saying that he was a danger to society with literally zero proof? But now all this proof from the previous Insider article, which had a lot of other stuff in it as well, if you want to go read it, I highly suggest it. It's going to be in the description. But there was so much proof in that, and in regards to all the people like retracting their statements, by then Insider had already like double and triple and like sometimes quadruple checked all of this information with multiple sources and multiple people and all these different things. So it's a bit sus. A fan helped make up mogul Jeffree Star find and delete more than 400 old crude tweets, direct messages show. Star deleted the tweets, some of which joked about rape and separately having sex with straight men, starting one day after accusing YouTuber James Charles of being a predator. In exchange for the fans' assistance, the messages show Star promised, but later rescinded, tickets to one of his masterclass events. Star and his assistant didn't respond to Insider's request for comment. I'm just gonna finish off with some smaller stories to like rebound from all that bullshit. So I recently found out private pictures that people took of Harry Styles in his like villa had been leaked, and people are fans of Harry Styles are body shaming him. Fans of Harry Styles who probably have shit like treat people with kindness in their bio is body shaming him. I've seen the photos. I'm not going to share them because again, they were taken while he was in his like private villa doing his own private thing. We already know that Harry Styles is like healthy and has a good body, and he looks the exact same in these pictures. The only difference is he wasn't supposed to have those photos taken, and his so-called fans have the audacity to call him fat. If you're body shaming Harry Styles, stop calling yourself a fan. You are disgusting. You're really gonna body shame Harry Styles. All he does is preach positivity and kindness. Then you go and do this. You're not a true fan if you think that's okay. Seeing that could damage other people with similar body types, leave the man alone. And the last thing I'm going to talk about is Pokimane, because she posted on her Instagram story a post that says, stop calling a male a simp for simply being a decent male, even if it's a joke. And she added to that saying, it was funny maybe 2 years ago, and you know what, some dudes really do be simping, but I'm tired of seeing anyone, male, female, attack helicopter, other, be called a simp for being remotely nice to a girl. Which is a nice message, but then people got angry at her because she used the term attack helicopter like in that post. I knew Pokimane was transphobic. It's 2020, attack helicopter ain't fucking funny. Stop invalidating trans people. And a lot of people were calling her out on it, so she went on Twitter and tweeted out saying, I so clearly missed the mark on this, and I'm really sorry to anyone I've hurt or offended with what I said. I didn't intend to use the term in a transphobic manner. I was ignorant to its history, which is entirely my fault. I also don't want to enable transphobic behavior or language, especially within the gaming space, so thank you for speaking up. I'll do my best to do better. My personal take on it was that people kind of took it out of context. Like, she obviously wasn't saying it in a way to invalidate trans people. She was saying it in a way of, regardless of who the fuck you are or what you are, don't be a dickhead. She didn't seem to be making the joke of, if you're not cis, then I'm going to make fun of you by claiming that I or other people are an attack helicopter. I'm not the biggest fan of Pokimane. She's had issues with copyright and targeting people's sponsors simply because she doesn't like the fact that they have a point against her simps. But she, like, didn't fuck up here. I just find it kind of upsetting how she was trying to talk about something that has, like, low-key become an issue. Well, not low-key, but it's like, it's high-key become a little bit of an issue. And instead of focusing on the actual issue, people made an issue out of something that wasn't. In conclusion, stop calling guys simps for respecting women, regardless of who you are and what you identify as. So that's all I have for you guys today. If you liked this video or if you liked me, make sure to like and subscribe. If you didn't like me, make sure to get in contact with my teachers because I bet you'll have a lot in common. And make sure to stay safe and stay hydrated.